Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are taking our very first look at the Minotaur. Now, this is the new legendary campaign ship, first legendary to come out as a campaign ship, so keep that in mind. It will be in the Bureau eventually. I'm not sure exactly when. I forget if they said if they had an exact date for when it goes into the thing. They probably do. But I know that it's in the campaign right now, so you can get it for 2,500 doubloons, just like any other one. You just go through the trials and stuff and knock out the campaign, and you get it for 2,500 doubloons. That being said, let's look at my commander build. I'm running Bruce Fraser with Nikolai Kuznetsov and Nikolai von Essen. We are running Beyond Range, Home Run, Punch Through, Fixated, and Fully Packed as our commander skills. For equipment, we are running Aiming Systems Mod 1, Steering Gears Mod 2, Steering Gears Mod 3, and the Main Battery Mod 3. For a loadout, we're running the heels, the sonar, and we choose smoke over the radar. You could swap the smoke for radar if you want. Let's take a look at the radar real quick. Gives you almost 10-kilometer detection of ships, which is actually fantastic. And it lasts for 40 seconds. Does that make this the best radar in the game? I think it does. I mean, sure, there are radars that are you know, less than 9.9 kilometers, and there are similar duration, but the ones that are above this in distance are shorter, usually 20 seconds, so half the time and a little bit extra range. So I think this actually could be the best radar in the game, but I don't know. Smokescreen probably going to be your best bet. We're not running any boosters. We do have the Alpha Tester flag, and we are running a anniversary camo. I really enjoy this camo. I don't know why. This camo looks pretty sick. Survivability, 43,300 hit points with a 21% torpedo damage reduction. Artillery, you have 152mm 50 caliber Mark 26s. You have 10 of them that reach out to 17.7 kilometers with this build. Reload time in 2.8 seconds and 180-degree turn time in 5.4 seconds. AP shell is all you get to shoot, and it has a maximum damage of 3,456. Now, why did I choose to go with rate of fire over firing range? And the short answer is the range, any longer range than this, and you struggle to hit anything at all. So keep that in mind. Probably going to showcase a little bit of that in this video. I think I'm going to run 2 videos for you guys in terms of showcasing the ship. But torpedoes. You have 533mm QR Mark IIs. You have 16 of those. 2 quad launchers on either side of the ship. They reload in 96 seconds. They have a maximum damage of 16,767. They get detected at 1.3 kilometers, and they have a range of 11 kilometers with this build. 62 knot torp speed, though. AA defense is very good on this ship. 20mm Oerlikon Mark 5s. You've got 20 of those that do 61 damage per second and reach out to 2 kilometers. Then you have the 76.2mm 70 caliber Mark 6s that you have 16 of, doing 315 damage per second, reaching out to 5 kilometers. And you have 152mm 50 caliber Mark 26s, which are your dual purpose main guns, much like the Worcester. You have 10 of those doing 118 damage per second and reaching out to 6 kilometers. The AA on this ship is formidable. Do not get it twisted. Carriers, you want to avoid this ship at all costs. I've already gotten a clear skies in the only match that I've played against carriers so far, so keep that in mind. Anybody that comes at you with a carrier is going to lose their planes. That's the way it is. This thing shreds them. They might get a couple of drops here and there, but generally speaking, their entire fleet of planes is just going to be gone. Maneuverability, 34.4 knot top speed with a 660-meter turning circle and a 5-second rudder shift with this build. Concealment. Detectability by sea is 11.6, detectability by air is 7.3, guaranteed is always 2, and detectability while firing in smoke is just 5.8 kilometers. Now, you could get your concealment down to like 9.8 kilometers. I ran into Tactic Angel. I'm assuming he's running a stealth build because that's about where I detected him, was at 9.8 kilometers. So, yeah, it is possible to get down to that stealth radar range. Because remember, it has a 9.9 kilometer radar. So if you can get down into 9.8, 9.6 range on your concealment, you could do that. Personally, I prefer the steering gears and not running concealment. I prefer to buff the AP on this thing because I'm telling you, this thing shreds. It shreds. It's absolutely disgusting. And it doesn't matter what it is. So here's the downside of the ship, okay? It is the epitome of glass cannon. If you looked up glass cannon online on Google, Minotaur would pop up. This thing is a glass cannon. If you get hit by anything, it's citadeling you and it's gonna hurt a lot. Now the good news is it still gets that British good heal. It's not an amazing heal, but it's a pretty good heal. And the reason I say it's not an amazing heal is because you're gonna get citadeled most of the time when you get hit. So you're not gonna be able to heal all that back. But if you do take, like, say, fire damage, for instance, fire damage will actually, you know, allow you to recover quite a bit of health. Now, the other side of it is, this thing gets citadeled by HE from battleships, including Conqueror. Conqueror absolutely annihilated me with a single salvo of HE. And I felt some type of way, not gonna lie. I did kill him, but that's not the point. He annihilated me. Anyway, so it's got 16 millimeter bow. Why is that important? That's because 227 millimeter guns is all that's needed to overmatch. Meaning literally anything with battleship caliber guns. Scharnhorst, Graf Spee, and above. Absolutely annihilate you. And I'm not exaggerating. It doesn't matter what you do. The only place on your ship that you have any armor is at the torpedo belt. And almost nobody ever hits it. And so, with that being said, let's show exactly why this thing is such a glass cannon, shall we? Oh yeah, that's right. That's the Citadel. It's not an armored belt. It's a Citadel. Your Citadel is way above the waterline, especially at midship. And there's very little ship in front of your Citadel, and very little ship behind your Citadel. Meaning this thing is a literal floating Citadel of sadness. But it's not. Because it is very shifty with a double rudder build, and you can dodge a lot of shells. Of course, the penalty for not dodging is death, more often than not. Or at least very, very much pain. But man, is this thing fun to use. Like, this ship is so dirty. Like, I can't wait till all of the battleship mains, including myself, have complained and complained about HE spam, only to show up with a Minotaur AP spamming you, and you going, I want the HE back. Please, please HE me to death. Why? Because AP you can't heal back. HE you can. Fires, you can heal that back. AP, not so much. This thing shreds, man. It's dirty. It's dirty. So, yeah, with that being said, let's get to the overview. Sequential torpedoes, that's the British torpedoes. You can fire them tube by tube. Most of the time, you're not going to. Flare for piercing means it can only fire armor-piercing shells, and it has a greater heal, which we already talked about, that British heal, man. It's pretty nasty. Minotaur, a light cruiser design with a more powerful and sophisticated AA system. Developed after the end of World War II from the Neptune-class cruisers, she carried dual-purpose main guns placed in new turrets, allowing for a higher rate of fire. She was designed in 1947, never built. I love this camo on this ship, by the way. I have a whole bunch of camos that I save up just specifically for top-tier ships and legendary ships so that I can make permanent camos, and some of the designs are so good on certain ships, and this is one of them. This camo was made for this ship. But it's a good-looking ship, man, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I may have found a new favorite legendary. This thing is so much fun to use. It's incredibly frustrating at times, because you really need teammates to actually do something useful occasionally. But, boy, if it's left to its own, if nobody harasses this thing, it will absolutely murder your entire team. And that is not me trying to make exaggerations. Like, it will murder your entire team. So, with that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we're going to be in the Minotaur here, obviously. and we're going to be on hotspot initially. This was the very first time I took this Minotaur into a fight. This is literally just pulled the wrapping paper off of it, just put a new camo on it, and sent it into battle with my first ever attempt at playing it. And gotta say, I think you guys will agree this thing has potential. Now, obviously, I don't claim to be the best player in the world. Never have I ever claimed to be the best player. But in the right hands, this ship will absolutely destroy your team. In the wrong hands, you don't have to worry about it. It'll be sent back to port the first time somebody shoots at it. But, boy, if you come up against a good Mino player, you're going to have a bad day. Okay? This thing is disgusting. The amount of damage you can put out with AP that can't be healed back, it's tasty. As we're about to showcase right at the beginning of this match, we're going to smoke up in wide open water at the beginning of the match because I have a unsuspecting battleship who just has a gigantic superstructure that just screams, "Please, Mino, farm me!" And, I mean, who would I be if I didn't oblige him? Now, I start firing initially, not planning to smoke up. And then I see there's a Yami here, too. So, then I'm going to go ahead and start to slow down and get a smoke screen going. And I will say this. The downside that I've seen so far in matches has just been not having any teammates that are willing to help you. And by help you, I mean all I need is somebody to spot. You can see the amount of damage that we're stacking up on this gross occur first. It's disgusting. There's nothing he can do. He's so big that these shells are just going to rip him apart. We're going for the superstructure, obviously, and at these ranges we're also getting penetrations through the deck occasionally. But just when I actually get the shots on target, I mean, you see the damage. I mean, it's disgusting. I mean, we're already at 25,000 damage, and we're a minute and a half into the fight. Now you can see I'm requesting, or trying to request support. Finally, the gross occur first gets lit back up, and he's now broadside to me. This is something you will read. This is death. There's no other way around it. You give a broadside to this thing, you're dead. I don't care what ship you're in. He's angled slightly, so I'm still having to aim high, but watch these shells, man. Watch his health. I'm not the only one hitting him, but even just my shells hitting him. Look at his hit points. Just gone. Now, he fires at me in the smoke here, and this man clearly knows what he's doing. And notice his name. Notice the guy's name. I just saw this. You can't make this stuff up. His name is Smiley Minotaur. And he just smacked me in my smoke screen. What a shot by him. Now, fortunately, you know, we got away with it. He did hit us really hard and didn't hit us the second time, but the fact that the guy's name was Smiley Minotaur and the very first chance that I get in a Minotaur, I absolutely wrecked that man's day for 50,000 damage. Took half of his hit points by myself. And that's not including his heal, you know what I mean? But still, we're going to start working on the Yami. Yami does the right thing. He's like, screw this, I'm out. I already saw what happened to the other guy. So he's going to back off. And my smoke screen's about to go away. This was a very good smoke screen. It's one of the very few times today that my smoke screen has actually paid off for me, because you got to have somebody spot for you. And more often than not, nobody spots. Like, I can't get anybody to spot. And this thing sucks as a spotter just due to the fact that it gets absolutely punished anytime it gets detected. And I run a DPM build rather than a concealment build, as we lose a Conqueror to a Shima. Go figure. And we lose our Shima to their Alaska. You can start to see how badly this match is going to end up. But we're going to do the best that we can to hold our team into this fight. Now, Worcester is in the cap. We're going to go up here and kind of give them a little bit of a taste of what it's like to be on the receiving end of an AP cruiser. Now, Worcester's no slouch in its own right. It's got all of the DPM, and it's capable of HE and AP. That's just disgusting. But unfortunately for the Worcester, he doesn't have a chance. I got cover, he's spotted by my battleship, and I am just going to punish this man. Now, it's going to take me a little while to get to the point where I'm actually scoring Citadel hits here, as I Citadel him on the first salvo, but you'll notice that as he sped up, like, it's harder and harder to hit where I want to hit on this thing. But you can see he's forced to turn out, which is just making him go broadside on to our battleship, and I mean, you see the result of that. Now, the good thing is, this thing, while it does have smokes, the smokes aren't the longest duration, but they also reload relatively quickly. And so you get to sit in your smoke for a while, and it doesn't take very long after your smoke goes away to get another smoke. So that's nice. And this time, we're getting to spam from the backside of the island at this Massachusetts, and the poor guy doesn't have a chance. He does go undetected because our Grossicurfers gets obliterated by a Shimakaze. Go figure. But, yeah, look at this Massachusetts. Now, what you won't really be able to see in this video is me dodging the rounds, because I stay pretty much aim down sight 90% of the time in this ship, which can be a bad thing, because you sometimes miss things while you're aiming down sights. But speaking of missing, good lord, pardon, hit the target. But you can see I'm behind an island again. I'm not able to detect him, but the Cleveland behind me is actually detecting him. So we're going to be able to do quite a bit of damage here, and hopefully get rid of this guy. Between the HE spam of the Cleveland and my AP spam, it's actually disgusting. Now you can see I'm hitting a little too far to the back. And I will say, these rounds are floaty. It's nice because you can shoot over islands, but they do float a lot, which makes hitting people where you want difficult. Even at this medium range, like this is 11 kilometers away, and I'm struggling to hit a superstructure because he's coming towards me, and all my shells are hitting to the back. We get a couple more rounds in here, and you see the Shimas lining the guy up, and I believe he manages to sink the Massachusetts, and there he goes. So now I know there's a destroyer out here, so I push out to my right to try to catch him off guard, and sure enough, I get detected in 3, 2, there he is, and hello, sunshine. This is your worst nightmare. Not only are you spotted by a Minotaur, but there's a Cleveland here as well. You got nothing. This guy has no chance. But look how many shells I get out versus the Cleveland. I got 3 full freaking reloads in the 2 reloads that the Cleveland had.
Torpedoes are stern.
That's called DPM, fellas. Learn to use it. The DPM of this thing is God tier. And that is no joke. It is actual God tier. Now, here I was a little worried that I was going to eat a torpedo because this genius in the Cleveland, like, just turned in front of me and made me stop. But luckily, I'm able to avoid those torpedoes. And I was running my freaking sonar. I knew they would be coming. It's a Shima, for God's sakes. And you can see our Shima's headed back to help as well. Now, we've done 132,000 damage in a couple of engagements. Like, it hasn't been like I've been firing at everybody on the map, but we had the Grossicurfers, we had a Massachusetts, we had a Worcester, and a Shima. 4 ships, that's it. And we've done 130,000 damage and just absolutely annihilated everything in our path. If this doesn't showcase what this ship is capable of, and I haven't even used the torpedoes yet. Like, I have yet to actually get into a match. I lied. I did get into a match where I used the torpedo. Now, here I didn't notice that the Shima was smoking up, so I get caught here. I actually was a little worried initially, but then I was like, okay, we're good. I'm in between smokes, between my smoke and the Shima smoke. I'll be able to just punish this Yami, no problem, once I can figure out how far I need to shoot to get to his superstructure. Now, unfortunately, the Cleveland goes broadside on, out in the open, and gets annihilated, so no help from him. And with him, if he would have stayed near me and gotten into this smoke, like, we could have annihilated the enemy team here. We could have carried this back. Instead, I've got a Shima who's sailing around behind islands and stuff. I'm not exactly sure his goals are. You can see I don't have a shot at anything right now because I can't see anything. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, unless you have spotting, this thing really struggles. Because if you're out in the open firing at anything with battleship caliber guns, it will kill you. Like, you've got to dodge everything. Because any shot that you take is a potential citadel. Now, obviously, Alaska is now within range. We are able to get out of the way of those torpedoes. So you know the gearing is on his way over here as well. And you can see I'm trying to hit that superstructure, maybe hit those guns, see if we can't knock it out. But we're going to keep turning, trying to get away from these torpedoes. Sure enough, there's another widespread in. And Alaska is going to sail into a Shima torp, and that's going to do him in. Now, this is the part where I really need this freaking Shima, but this Yami gets a shot right up my backside and takes all of my health. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Citadel twice through the back of the ship. Then we hit that monster heal that we talked about, that amazing heal that the British get. And this gearing is like, man, I should be able to kill this guy. You're right, you should be able to kill me, especially after I just lost all my hit points. But unfortunately for you, you're going to go broadside to me to get all your guns involved, and I am going to absolutely shred your ship. And down he goes. Who's got the faster rate of fire now, Sunshine? Now here, I should have used torpedoes. I should have used torpedoes. I knew that the chances of me dodging at 8 kilometers are slim and none. I have torpedoes, but you can see, completely forgot to use them. The guy was in a position where I could have potentially torped him, and I just didn't. So we finished this first game with 173,255 damage. A heck of a first game. I think anybody could agree. Now I'll go ahead and speed up things for you guys so that you don't have to sit through this too long. But needless to say, Shima doesn't end up clutching, unfortunately. We lose this match, but we did the best that we could. 173,000 damage is no slouch, right? For a first game out, I was feeling pretty freaking good. I love this ship, I'm not gonna lie. As fragile as it is so much fun to just sit there and DACA everything. But 2,000 base XP in a loss shows how nice we played. Can't make up for, you know, other teammates not being able to do any damage on their side of the map, but we did everything we could. Shima didn't do too bad either. But this time, we're going to be in Land of Fire, and it's a Xbox-only lobby. Go figure. You'd think with all of these people playing today that these lobbies wouldn't exist, but surely they do. And we are going to once again showcase just how nasty this freaking ship can be if left to its own devices. And I'm also going to showcase how frustrating it is when you don't get any freaking support from your teammates when you need them to spot things. Like, I don't need a lot out of people when I'm playing this ship, but I do need somebody to spot when I'm using a smokescreen. So this thing is going to be deadly in a division. Like, deadly. If you've got people that are able to spot for your ship and you can sit in a smokescreen and just DACA, this thing, imagine 3 of these? 3 of these? Oh my god. Like, this is the new Leon. Like, everybody, screw running a triple Leon, just run triple Minotaur and just absolutely shred everything that you see. But I still think it would actually be better if you have 2 of these and a destroyer. Especially like a Shima or something with really good concealment. Because if you send the destroyer out to spot, these 2 guys sit in a smoke screen, trade smokes, it's death. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't run, you can't hide, it's just going to kill you. And so, yeah, I really do think that in the right hands, this ship is absolutely destruction on wheels. Yeah, I know, right? There's no wheels, but you get it. It's just destruction. Pure and simple. It is everything that you want out of a light cruiser, with the exception of not having HE. Now, right off the bat, Yami gets spotted firing at our Yami, which tells me that there's somebody out here that's not the Yami, because otherwise my Yami would have fired back at him, and instead we had to wait for a bit. But look at my positioning on the map. First of all, the destroyer that spawned with me spawned in late, and now is going straight into the mid. My battleship that spawned in with me is going over to the left to help. So it is literally just me and this Yami over here trying to hide and take on a fight. Now, I figure that this Yami is going to be sitting here and being spotted by this Alaska R, which any ship that you see with an R after it just means it's a rental. Okay, so this is a player that is not used to his ship, he has no idea what he's doing, and so we're just gonna absolutely punch him in the mouth. And punch him in the mouth, we are about to. And we're going to get a little bit of help from that Yami as well. Now, you can see the Yamis are trading with each other, and I get to sit here and farm this Alaska. He can't do a thing about it. I get to sit here for a minute and a half and just keep shooting him. And the more he shoots his guns at our Yami, the more likely I am to just kill him. And he gets so intimidated by the amount of fire that he's taking from me, even though it's not doing a whole lot of damage, that he then goes broadside to a Yamato, and then goes broadside to me. He loses half his hit points to the Yamato, and now that he's angled enough that my shells are getting more penetrating, he's done. This is a death. You cannot do this. We don't even need citadels to kill you at this rate. you can see like every single shell is penetrating everywhere. And down he goes. First blood to us. We've got 50,000 hit points of damage already. Just like that. 45,000 hit points. Absolutely shredded dead man. And now we're looking to go, and here's where I was getting a little frustrated with this Yami. Like, it's just a Yami versus a Yami at this point. I need you to engage, because I need you to actually spot for me. Well, my smoke screen's almost running out. You can see I'm measuring the Shima here, trying to figure out if I can finish this Shima. And I'm not going to lie, guys, this Shima, he does everything right, unfortunately. He does everything right. We've got the Yami here, trying to use the island as cover, waiting for some support from his teammates that are coming over. He's got a Shima on the way, he's got a battleship on the way. He's doing everything he can to give himself a chance. But look at the damage that I'm stacking on him. It's just absolutely wrecking him. Now the Yami behind us actually got a good hit on him as well. And you can see this Yami then decides to do the unthinkable, which is come out from behind his island because, you know, he wasn't getting shredded bad enough being behind the island. Now he's got to give the full broadside of a ship to our Yami, and our Yami absolutely makes him pay for it. And then on top of that, you've got me chunking him every few seconds. Like, look at this. Like, just the unrelenting firepower that this thing gives is disgusting. It's actually disgusting, but so much fun. So addicting. It's like having a Friesland only as a cruiser. And it gets torps. But yeah, this Yami's in trouble. The friendly Yami smashes him again. The Yami behind me was actually getting some good hits on these guys, so I've got nothing to complain about with him other than what he does late in the game. Because honestly, he screws up big time. But enemy Conqueror comes out. You can see this Conqueror doesn't have a whole lot of hit points. We're already starting the DAC on him, and just look at the amount of shells that we can get into the air at a single time. What do we got, 5, 6 salvos in the air at one time? Like, this makes the Atlanta look like a freaking puppy. Like, this thing is disgusting. Look at that damage. It's done. He's got no chance. He's got his heel going right now. That's the only thing keeping him alive. But we're just chunking him. And now I'm behind the island, and the friendly Yami should be reaching out any moment to say hello. Wait for it. We're going to get him spotted again. We're actually detected before he is. He fires his guns at us with HE. We're going to turn in to try to avoid it. And we do take a hit. Luckily, it wasn't too bad. And the friendly Yami reaches out and finishes him off. So I'm going to go ahead and use that damage con now that the fires, or get that fire out, even though I didn't really need to. And this Shima recognizes that if he stays in this cap right now, he dies. So he gets out of the cap. Now, I have no idea where he is at on the map. Like, I know his last known was ahead to my left. I know he was just in the cap. I have no idea of where he's at. And I don't have a radar. I have smoke, remember? He's got me spotted, but he disappears. And it could be any of these islands. I have no idea which island he's going behind. So we're going to grab this base, try to get the points lead in our advantage. But we also have to go back and try to help our team. And unfortunately for us, the gearing that was on our team is just going to YOLO rush an Alaska, and he's going to get his butt kicked, and he doesn't even kill the Alaska. The Yami behind us, he's doing the same thing I'm doing, which is turning back to try to go back towards and help the team. And I don't know if I make the wrong play here, or if I make the right play and do everything I can to win, and it's just sometimes you cannot win. When you have an enemy Shima like this, and you don't have radar, it's darn near impossible to detect them. He's not, unless he makes a really, really stupid mistake, he's not going to put himself in a position where I can finish him. Now, the one thing I could say that maybe I could have done differently is to stay in this cap, let my Yami spot these guys as they're trying to make their way to Bravo, and then focus them down. And that way I could defend this cap. That is the only other thing that I think I could have done differently here. But again, I haven't been able to rely on this Yami to do any spotting for me up to this point. I've had to do all of the spotting for the most part, with the exception of the Alaska. So, like, I don't really trust him to spot for me, even though he is headed in the right direction. I leave the cap. I know darn well that the Shima is going to back cap. Like, he's literally just waiting for me to leave, and then he's going to cap from behind me. The enemy's just captured A. It's a Tirpitz and an Alaska. Now, I have no doubt that I can smash both of these guys. Plus, we have a full health Yami, or should have a decent health Yami. The Shima's leaving our Yami alone, so I feel pretty good about our chances here. The Yami overmatches the Alaska, the Yami overmatches the Tirpitz. So, in theory, this is a dubski. Like, there's no way that we lose this fight, right? Wrong. That Shima is going to backcap that base, exactly what I thought he was going to do. And we're going to engage the Alaska, we're going to engage the Tirpitz, and my friendly battleship is just going to throw. That's the only way I can describe it. Like, he literally throws his ship away. But watch the damage that we're able to get. Now, the Yami puts a hurting on him. I am just shredding this man. Like, this is 3,000 to 5,000 damage every 2.5 seconds. And it's unbelievable the amount of damage you can put out. It really is. I don't know how many more times I gotta say it. Now, we get shot at from the battleship, actually. But you can see I'm trying to finish this guy off. He's battle tanking me now. It's much harder for us to finish him off. And the Yami is broadside to him, which I think is one of the reasons that he ends up dead here. Because he's broadside to an Alaska, and there's a Tirpitz out here. So I pull forward, and there's the Tirpitz getting spotted, getting out of my smoke screen, so that I can spot. And the Tirpitz is just begging for it. Now, unfortunately, we left the Alaska alive, which means he's going to be able to heal some of it back. I don't know how much he's going to be able to heal back, but he is going to be able to heal some back. The Yami hits the Tirpitz through the bow, and again, Yami sitting full broadside to a battleship and a Alaska is just begging to die. There's no other way to put it. Like, he's literally just begging to die. So we're going to take advantage of everything that this Yami's doing at the moment and try to finish these guys off. Yami starts to turn in towards these guys, which is a good thing. But unfortunately, like I said, this Yami just ends up dead. There's nothing I can do about it. And so it's going to come down to me versus all three of these guys. Now, I've already got 2 kills. If I kill these 3 guys, then I get the Kraken unleashed, and I killed 5 out of 6 enemies. Solo, basically. We're at 158,000 damage done again. Like, we have absolutely carried. You can see I'm starting to launch torpedoes at my smoke screen because I'm anticipating the Alaska coming around the corner. And our Yami, again, is just, he's turning out, giving himself too juicy of an angle for that Alaska, and the Alaska makes him pay for it. And you can see there was torpedoes from the Tirpitz as well. So, it is unfortunate, but now, I mean, the game says it, and it's always the same. You know, your team depends on you. Doesn't it always? Like, it always is just me, right? The Yami did a pretty good job of helping me on the right side, but everything that he did there at the end was wrong. Like, he just put himself in too vulnerable of a position. Now, the enemy Shima starts opening fire from a smoke screen, which is a very bold strategy. So, I go ahead and I launch some of my torpedoes. Remember, we got plenty of range out there, so we're going to launch our torps and see if we can't catch him off guard. Maybe catch him slipping. Now, I'm waiting for the Alaska to come around the corner, and sure enough, he finally decides to poke. Now, he's over-angled way too much here, and I screw up by accidentally locking my guns, which is why that second shot was so bad. But you can see Tirpitz also puts himself in a position where he can be absolutely shredded, so we're going to go ahead and focus fire the Tirpitz, now that we can't shoot the Alaska at the moment anyway. And this Tirpitz is going to showcase why sometimes it's just not a good idea to try to win harder. These guys have all the advantage. All they have to do is stay away from me, and they win the fight. I cannot capture the bases enough. They've flipped all of the bases on me. I've done everything in my power to carry this team to a victory, and these guys are doing everything in their power to throw this game for their team. All they have to do is stay away from me. Now, obviously, I would try to hunt them, but you definitely don't want to go broadside to this thing inside 7 kilometers. I mean, good lord, man. What do you think is going to happen? I'll make sure that he doesn't live to regret it. Now, we get hit here, and then we turn away as the Tirpitz's guns actually find their mark. But we've been able to avoid getting shredded so far. And we're going to turn back in and start looking for the Alaska. The Alaska, again, Alaska switches to HE for my broadside, which is not a good play. Like, this guy overmatches me with armor piercing. All he has to do is keep armor piercing loaded. He will kill me very quickly, especially inside these ranges. But he doesn't. He shoots HE, and we're going to make him pay for it. We're shooting into that superstructure, or trying to shoot into that superstructure, and we're failing. He does load AP here, showcasing he knows what he's doing, but then I dodge most of it, and he just gives up again and starts loading HE as I shred him. There's nothing he can do about it. Once I get these shells actually hitting their mark, like, it's done. He fires HE at me again. I don't have to really worry about dodging. He once again gets fire, which is fine because I'll have a heal up. And unfortunately, we know how this ends. The Shima is never going to give himself up to be spotted. He's played this perfectly. He is the sole reason his team wins, solely due to the fact that he wasn't a complete and utter buffoon. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys got to see what you wanted to see out of the Minotaur, to give you an idea of what you can expect out of it. It is a very, very nasty cruiser, but it, again, is a glass cannon. It will be absolutely shredded if you give it a chance. So, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. 189,000 damage done in a 6v6, 4 kills. Missed out on killing the Shima, unfortunately, which would have guaranteed our win. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.